Hi friends, David here from Learn Stage Lighting, and today I want to take a look at this little box right here, the DMX RT4 from Chauvet. Okay, why are we looking at this today? Well, the DMX RT4 is a unique little problem solver that I think could help a lot of you guys solve some basic DMX problems, little situations where you need some DMX control. It only needs to be simple, and you might not have a lot of money to spend. Okay, so let's dive in. So the DMX RT4 I've got set up here on the test bench. I basically got the fixture itself. I've got DMX in and through. I've got a switch hooked up, and I have a wire hooked up to short out another switch. Okay, so the RT4 is an update of a previous product, the DMX-RT from Chauvet, that is just a really great way to record DMX from an external console and play back basic scenes. They can be static, they can have movement in them, and be able to do it really reliably. So this is the kind of thing that you're going to see when you need to program something that's in like a retail store or a haunted house or a theme park, where you just want some DMX lights. You know, here I've got a moving head, I've got some pars around. You just have some basic lights, and you just need them to play something back, which you've recorded maybe from a much more complicated console. Any console will work, any software, what have you. We've got customers that use these kinds of things with all sorts of different software. That doesn't matter. Why? Because here's how it works. You simply go ahead and you hook up your DMX in and through. Then you go on the menu and you record your shows, okay? Then I'm going to go ahead and flip this switch. Just with the flip of a switch, any kind of switch will work. It's a normally closed or normally open or toggle button, totally selectable. Here, I've just grabbed a simple household switch, and you hit the switch. Ta-da, toggle. I'm in toggle mode, and boom, my lights turn on. Turn off the switch, switch the other switch. Okay, so we'll go here real quick, and we're going to turn on the other switch just by unplugging it, in this case. And as you see, it fired our next scene. Okay, it's not super elegant, it's not fancy, but it does what it does, and it does it really well. So the basic gist, just to go over the technical, how did we get here to have two scenes on switches that we could play, right? How did we get there? Well, the first thing we did, again, is we've got 4 trigger ports at the bottom of this unit that have Phoenix connectors, okay? The outside 2 wires on these Phoenix connectors, they enable you to plug in a switch. The middle is just a constant 12-volt power for those that might, switches or sensors that have a backlight or something like that, that need a little power, okay? There's 4 of them, okay? So that means you can set up, you can trigger 4 different things here on the DMX RT. Then we bring DMX, in this case, in from the console, in through out to the lights. We go here in the menu, see here, and we go down here to record show. Show 5, you can name it if you want. Start record. And now we see, you may have seen here in my studio, that all of the lights changed. So previous to this point, we were just playing back out of the DMX RT, and it was pushing DMX to our lights, okay? Now that I enabled recording, it enabled the DMX input from my lighting console over there, okay? So now, it's really just as simple as going, okay, we're gonna start recording. Now it's recording. If there was animation to this, if there was movement, we would record until it loops, basically, and then stop it. Now, there are a lot of options in this unit, a lot of ways to record. You can record and trigger, not only from the triggers built in, but from DMX. So when it senses DMX, when it stops, and also you can set a DMX channel for simple triggers later. So there's a lot under the hood. It's very simple to get going with, but basically, as noted, we went ahead and we just recorded. So you record the show first, and you put that in memory, and then we go ahead and we assign it. So now, let's just say I go trigger event, trigger 3. Go to my show. I just recorded show 5. Put that in there. You can put multiple things together. There's also audio output via MP3 that you can load in from a computer. There's a USB-C port on this side to connect, and there's also a audio output on the back. And then we'll set the trigger mode. So I'm just going to set this to toggle. Interrupt. There's an interrupt mode, so this means how can this trigger be interrupted? In the case of priority, they're 1, 2, 3, 4, and any higher number would take priority over lower. I'm just going to turn this off for a second so nothing interrupts it. Then we hit save. Okay. Now you see if we go back into it, it saved all of our settings. Cool. Go back to our menu. And then I'm just going to go ahead and quickly plug in my switch that I currently have in trigger 2 over to 3. Turn it on. And as you can see, we now fired the cue that we just recorded into the device. If I want to go back to trigger 1, I'm going to fire that real quick. And guess what? It's not going to work as long as I have that switch on. And the reason why it's not going to work as long as I have that switch on is because I had the interrupt mode to off, so it'll never be interrupted by anything else. So at the end of the day, when you've got a simple circumstance, some sort of client that wants some lighting, they want just a few basic things that don't need to have really nice transitions between them because there's no transitions. The DMX RT4 from Chauvet can be a really great pick. It's simple to use, easy to program, and now this new version, the RT4, has some more stuff under the hood that can really get going. Can really give you some more customization, play back some audio, lots of things to help kind of in themed entertainment or stuff like that. So if you're interested in these, check the link below. We've got it at Learn Stage Lighting Gear, and we would love to serve you. And if you're new to us, maybe you're like, hey, I've never heard of this place. Guess what? We would love to, and be honored to, if you're in the US, be your dealer for gear. We've got all the brands, and we would love to help you out. So with that, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe and check out the DMX-RT if you have the need to simply record things, play them back, and have some options as to how they interrupt each other and be able to have some different switches. Or you can even just set it so that when it starts up, it rocks and it rolls and it just goes. Nice and simple. Either way, when you're on a budget, you need a DMX recorder. It's got to be simple. The DMX-RT4 is our best option that we've found so far. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you in the next video.